Da, 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 da. Welcome to the fall 2011 ArcaTribe retreat. This is the third of 3 retreats that were done this year. Here's a little overview of where we are. In our last retreat, we came up and signed off the ArcaTribe values, going through them quickly. Love, integrity, sustainability, spirituality, in no particular order, education, commitment and accountability, support, empowerment, respect, collaboration, trust, commitment, and creativity. Woo! Today, a group of core ArcaTribe members met to take ArcaTribe through some further decision making. Moving over here. Over here we have the one rule, as well as hand gestures. These are, again, things that have been signed off in past retreats and past events, but just touching on them. The one rule. This is a place of peace. I agree to be responsible, respectful, and reasonable to myself, others, and the environment. We, in our ArcaTribe retreats, use a circle structure. And in a circle structure, we have certain hand signals that we use. Look here to our model, Janelle, as she takes us through twinkles, which signify you agree to a point the speaker has made and does not break flow. Point of process, which is to bring people back on track if they venture off, which happens once in a while. Block, which is to block a decision or a process. This is a strong disagreement. We also use the thumbs when we get into consensus. There's yes, maybe, and no way. We also have get on with it, which we saw 1 or 2 of today, and the raising of the hand, signifying you have something to say, which we also sometimes use the talking piece for. Again, these are things we've done in past retreats and are tools that we're using to move forward in this retreat. So one of the big things we came up with in this retreat, now moving on to new content that as a group we agreed upon. And the real purpose for this video is to give those watching this, that's you, the opportunity to see what we did and what we worked with. And give you the opportunity to give us a thumbs up, or in the case of, if you want to, a block on anything that's happened within ArcaTribe. So here is the consensus flow. As you can see in this diagram, there's the opportunity for proposals to come in on various topics and move themselves through towards a consensus achieved. So the first thing we did in this retreat is we agreed to use this process, which is mostly self-explanatory, so I'm not going to go into it, to actually come up with decisions made and next steps for those decisions. The first of which we did come up with was a vision statement. Moving over here. Ta-da!
We are seekers, earth lovers, and creatives, called to evolution. We gather to share food, space, laughter, and grief. We are dedicated to birthing a new paradigm by exploring heart connections, practicing harmony in all our relations, inspiring change, and celebrating life.
Natalie Jackson, who you all know, took it upon herself to bring an exciting process that's been used by other groups to make decisions, which we used for membership and core. Something worth noting, we did not discuss legal structure and some other topics in this retreat, and we have moved those to the next retreat. Please say hello to Natalie, who's going to give us a little information on the process we used for membership and core decision making.
So the process we used is called a Quaker decision-making process, and it's loosely based on a model that's used by a lot of Quakers in the United States. And how it works is when there's a decision to be made or there's lots of different topics to be discussed, we break out into smaller groups, answer specific questions about those topics and create a proposal. And then we bring it back to the larger group. And from that point, it's a really timed, specific process that goes through clarifying questions to get a little bit more detail about it, and then a brainstorming with the entire group so that any new ideas can be brought to the table. And then those initial groups then take that proposal, modify it, and bring it back to the table for a consensus test to be done.
Yay.
Then we used that process to work through membership. What does it mean to be a member of ArcaTribe? How are we going to arrange that and look at that? So what we came to was that we proposed to recognize that ArcaTribe membership comes in many levels of commitment and interest. I just added this part myself after this hasn't been consensus to. We have observed this multiple levels of commitment and interest in the past and expect it in the future. We propose to define these levels as notification members, full members, core, and core graduates. Picture. And notification members, that's people that want to be on the list, they want to get invited to parties, they don't want to hear about the drama or go to meetings. That's cool. They just have to agree to the one rule for coming to our events and sign up. And someone's got to know them, because that's important. Full members, all the previous, plus agree to values and vision, and donate to minimum of $10 for annual dues to keep the stuff rolling. And show up for a meeting or a pod, and then they get full web access and forum access, and they get to bring as many guests as they want to events. Core has all the previous stuff, plus they have demonstrated the commitment and leadership in pods, are consensus in by general membership, and commit to various responsibilities that we'll get to in the next piece. And then there's core graduates, people that have been on the core for some time and still like us, and vice versa. And we're not quite sure what to do with that, but we recognize that it exists. And moving this project forward will be the welcome pod to develop a budget and project proposal for the website and system upgrades, and to set up a mailing list that works.
So the next decision and area that we looked at was core, and what core means to ArcaTribe. So they're nominated from the full member list, and through a consensus process, which could either be done an Arca monthly, and probably initially at a specific circle, we'll go through that process for choosing core members. So core members are committed to practicing and embodying ARCA values and the vision. And then also, when we look at mission in 2012, they'll be working towards moving those forward. So we need really a minimum of 7 people, and there's no maximum core members, so the sky's the limit. And we need those people that are willing to bottom line or initiate or organize one or more of the following areas. So we kind of have those in 3 larger categories, which look like events, admin, and a newly formed home front. And separately, it's symmetry, envision, home front, which really includes, looking after the members of the community. If someone's had a baby, then it means organizing food to go to them, or if someone's lost a family member, or there's been a loss in the community, that we look at ways to grieve together or come together around that. Deeper circles, monthly circles, and the Summer ARCA annual circle, the winter retreat, website, communication, and finance. So those are some of the major pods there. So the other thing that those 7 or more core members are willing to communicate with other members via the creation of a core forum on the website, and having core meetings twice a year, once in November and once in April. So the time commitment, well, this looks like approximately 6 hours a month, and that's minimum commitment, and 20 hours
to one event per year, and that's not including the event time, so that's like lead up, just helping with pod structures and things like that. And also that they attend minimum of 4 monthlies a year, and that's not included in the minimum time commitment. So also there's a minimum of a year commitment. We really ask that people are on board for a year, and that there's no maximum. People could stay on for 10 years if they want. And how we'd like to acknowledge and thank those core members is by compensating them with a free ticket to events, as well as an annual reflection dinner. And we'll need to revisit this after we have 10 or more core members, because we will have to look at the costs associated with those things. But currently that's one way for us to acknowledge and thank them for their service. And the action items are kind of creating more of a pod structure, and creating a specific date for choosing the core, which will likely be the January monthly, but that'll go out in an email. So what we'd like you to do now is to take some time to think and reflect on what you've heard so far, and if there's something that's like a block, for you to email myself at busybsynergy@gmail.com, or Facebook me, or you could also email Luke. Luke, what's your email address?
LukeDabity@gmail.com. And we're assuming that if we don't hear from you, that you like the process we've gone through, you're supporting us energetically even though you may not have been able to be here today, and that we're, as an ArcaTribe, as a community, able to move forward with decisions we've already made, like the hand signals and the one rule, and with new decisions that we have come to today as we move into the future behind our new vision.
Thank you, Christian cameraman.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Christian.
Do, 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 do.